Come on.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the only podcast produced by three two-time winners of IMSA's Spirit of the Race Award. You're tuned into the Check Engine Podcast. We're hosted on Anchor.fm, and we are streamed worldwide on any platform you use to listen to your favorite shows. Nick, Andrew, and Tristan are back once again. What's going on, guys?
How's it going? I'm feeling a little down from this week. I'm ready for this podcast. You know, it's been like a really long week.
This is a highlight. I think we all
Yeah.
came off of very long, arduous weeks.
Yeah, it was not a nice one all around.
No.
Something we all agree on for once.
I don't think we're that
No, we're not.
contrarian of each other. That's not a right word. I am tired.
Yeah.
That's all word, but it's not what you're looking for.
Not the one I'm looking for.
Expect this for the rest of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
You're in for it, folks.
Tonight, Nick's vocabulary fails him.
And so does mine. And everyone else's. I mean, we'll see what we get. We're directionless. We're afraid. We're in the dark.
Speak for yourself.
You're not afraid?
I'm never afraid.
Wow. That's the kind of leadership we need.
Do you have direction?
Who needs it?
I don't know if that's the kind of leader we need.
Chart an unknown course for adventure.
He's just going to charge in a direction.
This is what happens when you survive the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, everything seems less
He's
scary.
fearless. He can do
Yeah.
anything now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm invincible. To quote a Russian who wasn't a Russian from a James Bond movie, I'm invincible.
Is that from... I always forget the name of that one. It's not Goldeneye, right?
Yeah, it's Goldeneye.
Goldeneye.
It's Boris.
Oh, that's right. It's Boris. Now I'm
Yeah.
thinking of the other.
Boris.
The submarine
Boris.
one is called what? The submarine bond.
The submarine bond.
Yeah.
The submarine Pierce Brosnan Bond.
Correct. Yes.
Oh, the stealth boat?
Yes.
Oh, it is a boat. You're right.
That is Tomorrow Never Dies.
I think you're right. The one where the fat Russian guy runs into the place and is like, I'm looking for a submarine. It's big and black, and the driver is a friend of mine.
Yes.
And then Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's The World Is Not
Well,
Enough.
it's not enough. Yeah.
But,
That same guy was also in Tomorrow Never Dies.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's why it's confusing.
yes. And we're also not a James Bond submarine podcast.
As much as I'd like to be a James Bond podcast.
We'll find a way to do it someday. We'll review all the DB5s.
Yeah, there you go.
All of them.
We
All the DB5.
Tristan is right. We are in fact a car podcast, so we should probably start talking about some car stuff
Okay.
and or motorsports stuff.
Then let's do that. I want to start with something that I can't physically hold the shame in my body any longer. Did you guys see the Hyundai Envision 74?
Yes.
Yes.
I love it, but I feel great shame.
Why?
Okay, here's what I say this a little quiet. This looks fucking stupid. Okay? All right, so that's the first part.
But
However, can you just imagine if instead of all the stupid stuff they've been doing since Nostrilgate, BMW put this out and called it some variation of the one?
oh, amazing.
Can you imagine the response?
Oh, it'd be huge. It'd be huge.
And then Hyundai just did this, like out of nowhere. They just did this.
Yep.
I mean,
Actually,
it's ballsy.
One of our favorite listeners, Sean, sent that to us in a private message. Said, "Hey, have you guys seen this?"
Yeah.
I said, yeah, we did.
Yeah, man.
Indeed, we have.
Indeed, we have.
How can we describe this? This is, I mean, this is what any successor to the BMW one should look like.
Yes, honestly, my first glance when like the homepage hit or landed on it, I thought almost Back to the Future DeLorean-y.
Little DeLorean.
At first glance, but then yes, 1 Series.
I also thought Quattro rally car, Tristan.
Ooh, a little bit of that. I could see that. I don't know. It's just like is
Hyundai
making their own version of a Challenger, like a modern retro?
So there was a
Electric? Yeah.
But it's also
Or, sorry,
no, it's hydrogen,
Yeah,
isn't it?
my fault. It is hydrogen.
Yeah, which is the way of the future.
yeah the Envision. They were talking about. They're talking about how like there's this whole history of like how how Hyundai is related to the DeLorean, and like that's why it's reminiscent of what I'm trying to find the quote from the guy from Hyundai. Yeah. Unveils wild supercar with ties to DeLorean. And
okay.
so it's let's see if I can find it. The car is an homage to the svelte two-door coupe known as the 1974 Pony Coupe. A sporty twin to Hyundai's Pony hatchback, Korea's first mass-produced car. What you might not know is that
I don't know any of this.
Is that when Hyundai management decided not to build the Pony Coupe, its core was used to shape the DMC-12.
Oh, that
Well,
is really
how about
interesting.
that?
Wow.
So that's
okay.
why if you look at the Pony Coupe prototype,
Yep, right there.
you can see how it led directly into the DMC-12.
Yep.
And so if you see, basically, if you then see the DeLorean in this, his comment was, so if you see DeLorean in this, remember we did it first.
That's right.
That's really
Yeah.
funny.
So I wasn't too far off base
No.
when I first saw it. I'm like, oh,
That looks like a DeLorean,
That
which looks like a Hyundai Pony Coupe because it was one, basically.
Also, I mean, I'm trying to get the one picture I don't have is a rear shot of it, because I mean, from the front, this blows the tits off that new Nissan. This is a way better retro future.
I've got a half ass.
I mean, look at that. Well, first of all, it's got the rear splitter, or the rear, what's that called? In the
the
bottom?
little downward triangle, the down carrot in the middle. That looks great.
I
Yep,
mean,
on the diffuser, and then the
diffuser, thank
and the taillights are like almost like pixel art winky eyes.
Yeah, it kind of goes. Ooh.
And you imagine that like when the brake lights come on, they open, like the eyes open and they close.
Yeah,
Like I don't
absolutely.
know what they look like, but I imagine that like their taillights are used and then they like become full squares and the brakes come on. I would love that.
I feel like it's somehow hypocritical for me to like this, because I think I've been so opposed. It looks like a BMW. I've been so opposed to everything that BMW has done for a very long time. And
yeah,
also,
but it doesn't look like a new BMW. It
That's
looks like
true.
an old BMW,
but
which
it also feels a little disingenuous for me for some reason to be really into this car when I kind of have a tendency to shit on everything that's just retro for no reason, which this is.
yeah, is it though? Like I think
Kinda.
there's paying homage to your history, and then there's retro to like because this isn't recreating the Pony or DeLorean. Like it's pulling on the heartstrings of those cars, but it's not trying to bring back like the Challenger and even the Mustangs to a certain extent. They're like modernizing a retro look to get that retro cachet. Same with the Bronco, where it's
Yeah,
like
that's
hey,
true.
look, this looks retro, and you kind of said it like it's like retro futuristic on purpose to evoke a certain feeling, but it's not like, hey, we're bringing back the Pony, and for the first time ever, it's going to be in the United States. No, they're not selling it as that. It's just like, hey, we made this cool thing. It looks cool.
That's true. Also, Hyundai does have a more recent tradition of making concept cars like this, then making a road car that sort of looks like it for good and bad, but they rarely put directly into production,
Yeah.
with the exception of the Ioniq 5, that new EV. What's the new friggin' Hyundai EV called? The washing machine.
The Ioniq 5.
It is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Ioniq 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That
You're
one
right.
they did immediately put in. By the way, I've seen one of those now.
Washing machine?
I saw
The
it in
washing
white,
machine. Oh,
and it did not look like a washing machine.
oh
However,
figured it would look more like one.
it looked like a wagon.
Like a Conestoga or a station wagon?
like a vault, like a
Radio flyer. What kind of wagon are we talking about?
Little red Conestoga?
no, it looked like a Volvo wagon.
Huh. Well, I mean, I like Volvo wagons.
Like,
it doesn't
like the platonic ideal of a Volvo wagon.
Platonic.
I'd say.
That's the episode title. Platonic ideal of a Volvo wagon.
There you go.
I mean, however, with that said, I definitely fully understand where the washing machine thing came from, because while I didn't see it, I definitely could see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
most
it
of my
might be the
first
color. It might be the color too, because
Could be.
the one I've seen twice now is like that deep kind of grayish blue.
Yeah, like every
which, like,
LG.
Every LG
Yeah.
washing machine stack.
Yeah,
Because we want to be different. We don't want to make white washing machines
And
anymore.
if you get the gray one, it's just the Samsung washing machine.
Exactly. So, like I said, I could definitely see it. It just wasn't my first impulse. I think that's the only. No, I saw 458 today. That completes my cool cars that I saw.
Nice.
That's it.
It's not a cool car, but it's a car story type news.
Sure.
I got to I guess call it race a Jeep Patriot.
Why?
So
Uppity.
I'm driving to work. I'm on 16. I'm making the curve past Capitol going towards WCTC, and you go from 16 to 94 there's that big kind of sweeping
One
left.
of my favorite places in the whole world.
It's a great on ramp, isn't
He
it?
said wistfully.
Yeah.
It's looking up towards the ceiling, 3/4 shot.
Gentle music in the background.
Camera pans up.
Yeah, exactly.
Pans up to a fade in of
to
the
a
location.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So heading down that way, and there is a Jeep Patriot in the fast lane going way too slow. I am like the 6th, 7th car in line, and everyone is just pulling out, passing on the right. Not what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But everyone's doing it.
Person's obviously not aware, so I'm not going to fret over it. I will also move over. I get to them right as the ramp is starting to bend.
Sure.
And then you start to see the left arrows. This motherfucker guns it. Now that I'm alongside of him. So I'm speeding up. He's speeding up. And I really looked over. I'm like, are we doing this? Like,
You really want
Were
it?
you driving the Focus?
I was driving the ST.
So no, you weren't doing this.
So I said, down a gear, just took off. But like, you've been going 58 in the left lane for 3 miles, and now the 7th person passing you finally gets you.
He had it.
Like,
I'm done with this.
What I will say is I have noticed a shocking amount of that kind of activity on my drives to work recently. Yes. I don't know whether it's like it's always that thing. Tristan, we've always said this. It's the Grand Theft Auto 3 theory of the world.
Yeah.
Once you see something,
you see it infinite numbers of more times.
Right. But except it based somewhat in reality, because in Grand Theft Auto 3, when you stole a car, it was easier for the game to just create more versions of that car.
Yes, than the full variety.
Often.
Yeah. But it happens in real life because we're living in a simulation or something. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So
did you take the red pill or the blue pill?
I took the green pill. What does that mean?
I just got to choose between 2 different types of Tylenol.
I got 2 red pills.
You didn't take the drowsy, did you?
Yeah, he took Tylenol. Yeah, I'm back to sleep with you.
In Andrew's head.
Oh, that peaked like crazy. Awesome. What was I going to say?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I've seen an awful lot of delayed, angry makeup street racing, or embarrassed street racing, I think.
Yeah.
Where suddenly the person who's been getting carved up for miles, literally miles, suddenly goes, no, I've had enough of this. And they freak out and do something really stupid that almost, gets other people killed.
I feel like a lot of those are my fault because people don't like being passed by me.
But see, then it would also be me and also Nick.
No, I'm saying like people like me are what set those people off.
People like you, like the type of vehicle you're driving?
Yeah, it's like once they realize they're being passed on the right by an Outback at speed, they're like, what, an Outback? And then they lose their shit. Like,
what was the car in front of you, Nick?
Nothing special.
Exactly. Like if I'm dozing and I get blown past on the right by a 911, I'm like, whoops, and I move over. But if it's like a guy in a minivan, it's like, really, dude, we're gonna do this, and then you go. Right?
Yeah. So maybe that's what set the person off, and it just takes the Patriot that long to speed up by the time I got
does.
alongside it.
It
But
is not fast.
yeah, that was. I like, really, man? Like now?
Silliness.
Now? Speaking of the GTA 3 theory, I've had it happen to me probably 2 or 3 times in the last couple of months where I almost get run off on the on-ramp. So like I'm coming down the on-ramp and like people speed up to try to keep me from getting in front of them when the left lane is completely open and all they have to do is just move over.
I mean, technically, they do have the priority, but they shouldn't be speeding up to match. Like if you,
Yeah, they're speeding up to match me.
Sailing down the ramp, you know what I mean? I have seen that as well. Something's going on.
They're
I feel
speeding.
like as a collective, people forget how to drive.
They're speeding up to match me. When I hit the dust and dirt and rumble strips and lay on the horn, they go, and I'm going, move over and gesturing left. Like, that's all you got to do. You don't have to slow down. You had the room. There was no one there. Just lack of general awareness.
It's weird. I was actually going to bring that up specifically because I have seen so much. What is it? Is it aggressive driving? Is it just stupid driving? It's something. Whatever it is, I've seen a ton of it lately too. And yeah, I don't know.
People just seem on edge these past couple of weeks.
That's true.
Like,
That's
we got
very
back
true.
from the 4th of July holiday weekend, and it's just been weird.
Summer, I guess. What, accidents go up, crime goes up,
Yeah,
and hot.
Everyone's hot and tired.
hot and tired. Yeah, I was driving through the actual city of Milwaukee from one side to the other, from Menominee Falls to like downtown, and just like out of pure survival instinct, my parents are from Illinois and drive in Chicago jeans appear out of nowhere. It's like, no, you get out of my way.
And well, you do have the car to back that up because it's very large and
It's
and
large and frankly for that kind of vehicle rather menacing.
triple black.
Yeah,
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly that.
I got it really well washed the other day,
Yeah.
and I was like, dang, I forget how good that car looks. Like, you drive it every day and it's kind of a familiarity breeds
Yeah.
contempt thing, but like I got it washed and I got out to dry the mirrors and the back underneath the spoiler because it never dries out. And like, so I'm wiping it down and I like step back and it's like, dang.
You do the double take,
You're like, man.
the look back as you walk away.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People look back at their car. Best ad of all time.
Yes. Yes.
I have great news. I have fantastic news.
Excellent news.
I have fantastic news and a portent of the
Signs
world to
and
come.
portents.
Indeed. So, BMW, the worst car company in the world.
Trying very hard to be my favorite car company.
To not be a car company also.
It's okay. Here's the thing, Tristan. We have to remember, when he buys his BMW, he is paying monthly for his heated seats.
I was
Yes.
going to bring this up. I have it on my screen, the tweet from
Yes.
Joe Pompliano,
Joe.
Who?
Pompliano,
whoever that guy is.
whoever that is.
Joe Pantoliano?
I bring fantastic news of what will inevitably happen to all of the stupid car manufacturers who do this. White hats have hacked the system.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they're bringing, and of course we called this the second we heard that it was going to be a thing because this is the logical conclusion of you fucking with people for no reason.
Yes.
Chalk it up in the we were right column
Right.
for this year
Exactly.
or last year. Both.
Several years, I think.
Whenever we called it last.
And this is fantastic news because it's coupled with this very specific announcement of a genuinely evil practice that they're doing it's only in BMW South Korea for now. If you want adaptive high beams on your car, which comes with adaptive high beams, very apparently, you will pay $8 a month for a feature that's already on your car.
It was funny. Did you hear the lead up to that? They're like,
No.
there was a rumor that it was going to be in Europe or the United States or something,
Yeah.
and they were like, that rumor is patently false. And then
They do it.
it's South Korea. Like, that's why it's wrong. It's not what they're doing; it's where they're doing it. Yeah.
It is genuinely evil.
Why is the high beam $10 less than the heated seat?
They expect you to what's the term that people use? They expect you to cycle that subscription, where it's like people who only subscribed to HBO when Game of Thrones was on or whatever.
Correct.
Because you only need them in the winter, so you don't pay for it all year.
That makes sense. But to be fair, they do give you a deal. It's $18 a month or $180 for the year, so that's 2 months free.
Buy 10, get 2 free.
Yeah.
I can't even
To heat your seat.
I can't even describe to you how evil I find this.
That's okay. All I'll do is I would buy a BMW, not pay for the heated seat subscription, go to Fleet Farm, buy a 12-volt heated seat pad, and post pictures of it all over Instagram.
There you go.
And be like, this is how I need to heat the seats in my BMW if I don't want to pay their subscription fee.
Which you would never.
I would never.
No.
Tape flashlights to the front of it. Adaptive headlights.
Yeah. Get those the little the battery powered RF lights for your house.
Yep.
Tape them to the front and with 2 remotes and just.
I mean,
It's ridiculous.
it's
and again,
so bad.
for those of you listening, they come with heated seats. They are built into the car.
that
The
is in
high
your
beams
car.
are in the car when you drive it off
You
the lot.
paid for that.
But you have to pay extra now to unlock it and use it.
And the argument is well, it's cheaper just to have one production line. No, it's not. We figured this out decades ago.
Yeah.
Automotive facilities are okay, we're going to build this many of this model car. This many are going to have heated seats. This many are not. And the custom orders get fit in the middle. And it's all planned out by computers. The parts come off the line. The guy puts them in the car. And it's not perfect, but it's not different lines. It's the same line.
More to the point, iterative stuff like this is now completely AI controlled. This is
Yes.
what manufacturing literally does
This
at this
is
point.
this is all the big data manufacturing stuff that IBM and Oracle are doing.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's trillions of dollars put into doing this exact
And
specific thing.
planning for that exact thing. No one wants to spend the money if they don't have to build a bunch of cars people don't want, which is what they're going to be doing. They're going to pay the money to put heated seats in all these cars.
Yep.
And then people are not going to pay the subscription fee.
Right.
They're going to go get the pad.
Yeah, they're going to go to Fleet Farm, get the pad.
For something that it just blows my mind, for something that the people quite literally own.
Yeah, it's different. When I bought my car, I prepaid for my Starlink stuff.
Sure.
Yes.
Not the Elon Musk internet, the Subaru connected car stuff. And that allows me to find the car, allows me to remote start the car, all that business, right? But that's an added service. It's also roadside assistance, emergency, crash detection, all that stuff, right? That's an added service that I'm paying them to provide a service that I do not own as part of the car.
Correct.
I will pay for that. I'm not going to pay them a per month subscription for the wireless charger they put in my car.
Yeah,
that's an option box that I check or whatever,
As in the world we live in, ITSM versus ITAM.
Yes.
Service management versus
asset management.
Your asset management.
Yeah.
I mean, it's oh god, it's gonna get so much worse than this, and it's gonna be, I think, probably in every car company, and I fully encourage everybody to hack all of this shit.
Yes, and they will.
Yeah.
Because remember, it's not actually that illegal.
That illegal.
Exactly.
You're not breaking any laws. You're just breaking an EULA. What are they going to do? Take the car away from you that you own?
Exactly. That's true. Listen. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
We can't recommend you do this.
Allegedly in Minecraft.
Yes.
Roblox?
Roblox, yeah.
In Roblox.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Something-
ridiculous, dude.
So talk about ridiculous. That's my segue. I'm going to shoehorn in here. Talk about ridiculous. I wanted to talk about it when we were talking about Hyundai earlier. Have you seen? We've had discussions on this podcast about absolute batshit types of gear shifts.
Yes.
Have you seen the gear shift on the GV60?
No.
It is a crystal ball.
What?
Yeah.
No, not yes.
Oh.
Not yes.
What?
It is a crystal ball that I'm trying to see if there's the animated version here.
Oh.
Yeah,
It makes this noise.
yeah. It spins around. And
that
then
is a horrible idea.
it's going to fail. And then to shift, you twist it from drive to neutral, whatever, and then the park is a button on the top. But its default position is rolled over as like a crystal ball with an ambient light inside. The first time I get in my car and I hit the start button and the gear shift lever does not rotate up so I can use it, I am starting the car on fire and making an insurance claim. I'm not dealing with fixing that.
What? I'm going to ask this question again because it's something that's been drilled into my brain in the marketing department where I work. What problem does this solve?
That's a solution in search of a problem.
Okay, listen.
I don't want to hear it, Hyundai boy.
Wait,
No.
Hold on.
You have no justification for
I
this.
don't want to hear it, Hyundai man.
Wait. You haven't thought about it this way. What if, and I don't know if this is true, what if you can paw at that ball like a cat with like a tennis ball in water?
Would it allow for unlimited spinning?
Yes.
Like a stress ball thing while you're driving long distances?
May it be pawed at. That is something that's important to know for this discussion.
As both an entertainment device and a backup method of rotating the ball to where you can use it.
Fit it in. Slap the shit out of it.
Take the little
It's going to be weighted on one side.
take the little clips out of the inside so you can spin it infinitely fast like a mouse wheels used to do.
How to get banned from Counter-Strike without hacking. Can you, and also related to that, when you do that, does it infinitely rapidly cycle through the gears? You just play gear shift roulette.
That poor gearbox. You just that drive gear just like jump just back and forth.
There is no flaw in my plan.
Why do you do this, car companies? Why are you making such stupid shit?
That is really dumb. That is really dumb. And obviously it's just terminal again. All of this clearly is BMW's fault when they had that stupid pad that you were like
No, who made the radio dial one? Was that Chrysler?
Okay. I'm trying to remember. It might have been Chrysler. The gear select
Was like
knob.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. It's a Mopar thing. Jeeps have it and Rams have it, and yeah.
I'm just going to adjust the volume on my radio, and now
And
you're
put
in
my
reverse.
car in reverse. Yeah.
At 70 miles an hour on the
It's
highway.
not that bad. It's like all the rest of the controls are over here, and it's like right behind the wheel near the start button. Like it shouldn't be a mistake you made. The ones that kill me are the ones that are like just a fixed stick, and it's like you have to pull down on it
Like in the Prius. That was
to
the
put
first
it in
one.
drive, and then also pull down on it to like put it in reverse, and then click it to put it in park. Like
Correct.
there's no logical sense to like if you pull it one way, it's one thing. If it's the other way, it's another thing. That would make sense.
Yeah.
But it's like let me pull it twice to put it in reverse or
Yeah,
something. That's like why?
That's really, really bad. But what you got to remember is that I am a deeply stupid man. So what that means is that with my wife having owned the push button Tucson now for almost a year, I still fail to park it every time I drive it because I'm reaching for a gear shift that has never existed in that car. It never has had that option.
How often do you drive it though? You say after a year, but do you drive it like once a month?
I would say I probably drive it at least once a month. I drove
Okay,
it.
so I would say that's not that bad. If you were driving it like every day for a year and you can't figure it out.
I mean, I drove it today. I mean, there
And
was a stretch where I drove
does
it
your car have the normal?
Well, yeah.
So that's what you're used to. See, I
yeah.
don't blame you for that. That doesn't make you a stupid man.
But that's not funny.
That's not funny.
I mean, it's not good content. But
Yeah. That's not good content. I don't know. I just the buttons I think are, if we're doing a tier ranking, obviously, the stick is preferable to the pad. I think is the worst. Although spinny ball,
High fun potential, but also high potential for mechanical failure.
correct. I wish to find a GV70 and break that so I can spin it.
Just sitting in there hitting it repeatedly.
Until you hear that snap.
the dealership, the guys at the desk in the dealership, like he's been
What is
out
he
there for
doing?
like 4 hours.
with the car off, by the way, so it's
Hot.
pushing on it in different directions.
What's he doing?
Stick a big suction cup to it and start pulling.
There's like an EPB that goes out to like all the Genesis dealers with his
Do not
picture.
let this man.
Seen on lots with a plunger.
Don't let him play with your balls.
While we're on the topic of inscrutable
Oh, I thought you were gonna say while you're on the topic of
balls. No, well, kind of. We'll call it that. On the topic of inscrutable car human interface devices.
Yes.
Did you hear what happened at Pikes Peak?
No.
Uh-oh.
The guy who was like the clear favorite to win at least the electric car category in a modified Model S Plaid, he was foiled in his attempt because he couldn't get the defroster to work because of the touchscreen.
F in the chat. He was wearing gloves.
He had capacitive gloves. He couldn't figure it out. And then, whereas like most of the other guys had a modified race car with a large red fan button, he had to try to navigate a 17-inch touchscreen while pelting pell-mell up Pikes Peak.
I was just say barreling up Pikes Peak where you die if you go
which resulted in him loosening his harness to try to reach the windshield to wipe it off manually.
Buddy.
And he luckily did not die. But it's like, yeesh.
Oh my God. Speaking of appalling Tesla practices, I saw a tweet. I didn't retweet it. I didn't save it.
Didn't go after it.
It was not on my. It wasn't on the. It was on a different. I don't even know if I was logged into Twitter when I saw it, because it wasn't. It was reposted. Like it wasn't. I didn't even see the tweet live, so it may have been years old at this point. But it was. I'm gonna have to find it again because it was a tweet that allegedly, that one of the most irresponsible things that Tesla does involving autopilot, and it's debate as to whether or not it's intentional or whether it's something that just happens with the system. You know how computers be sometimes.
Computers are weird, man. That's why I have a job.
But when you're talking about the accident statistics in Tesla, one of the things they're very proud of is the fact that most of their accidents occur not as a result of autopilot, but as a result of user error. What that means is, in the strictest interpretation, autopilot was not engaged in the moments before the crash. However, there are reports from users that autopilot will, in emergent situations, deactivate.
Ooh.
So the question is,
how many of these user-related crashes are just autopilot
shutting off too late,
crying home to mama and turning off?
Exactly.
And yeah.
And again, I will have to find this tweet allegedly, because it was really, really interesting, and it was a little deeper than that, but that was the core message of it. And of course, there is also a third option for this, which is, obviously, there is no such thing as a self-driving car. I'll say that again. There is no such thing as a self-driving car. So what that means is, in truly emergent situations, very often those features will completely fail of their own accord. However, that should, in the case of a Tesla, indicate that autopilot was functioning and failed, not that it was not engaged.
Yeah, not that it was off. Yeah.
Correct. So that was very interesting to me, and I want to find out more about it. And allegedly.
That's an interest.
Not an original claim, by the way. Not something I said. Someone else said this, and
something I have seen someone else say.
We can investigate further, maybe, kind of.
Yeah, I'm sure I could find the tweet.
Well, not just the tweet, but like actually into the reports.
Yeah,
like
I'd be super interested to see that.
That's crazy. How does old Uncle Elon twist that one when it comes out looking bad on Tesla?
I don't think that it ever will, simply because of the fact that even if this is for some reason true, allegedly, there's nothing to say that the system didn't just happen to fail, because essentially what's happening in situations like that, is basically like system overload, Tristan, right? Because if it's an all-in-one system that's trying to handle data, act on the data, and turn that into physical responses independent of what the driver's doing, who's also doing something, so it has to ignore those inputs. It could literally be an overload from a single system not designed to do all that work at exactly the same time, and it just fails to work.
Right.
I mean, it could be for any number of reasons. It could literally overload the RAM. It could overload the CPU speed. It could cause actual lag in a system that just fails.
Yeah, or when you look at software, if you're receiving too much data, you hit an integer overflow or something, and the math stops working and it crashes the app.
Yeah.
Like, you start generating non-real numbers, and the app goes, something's wrong, and just turns itself off, and then autopilot's off.
Yeah, there's tons of reasons why this would happen of its own accord. However, even if that's what's actually happening, in my opinion, it should definitely be recorded differently.
As a failure versus a deactivation.
It's essentially problematic data.
Yes. Something to keep the NTSB off their backs.
Right, basically. And again, for everyone who didn't hear it the first million times I've said it, Tesla's not a car company. They're a technology company.
That's trying to make a car.
That happens to make a car.
Yes.
Which, again, it's a really good idea if you can get away with it.
Yeah, I
and
guess.
They have been.
Yeah, they have been for quite a few years now.
Yeah, so that is what it is. Hey, speaking of abominations against the human race.
Uh-oh.
Did you guys see?
He just pulled it up.
The Cadillac Celestiq.
Celestiq.
Oh.
Chez Celestiq.
I mean, I saw it in the Super Bowl commercial.
Well, it's real now.
Oh, is it?
And it's horrible. It's horrible. Who made this?
Cadillac. You said it yourself.
Cadillac.
Now, what person made this? Let me know so I can throw apples at them.
Apples.
Joe
Use
Cadillac.
the more classic tomato.
Dan Cadillac.
Yeah,
I wanted them to be injured, not shamed.
Throw unripe tomatoes at them. Hurts more.
This thing. So I guess it's a shooting brake, whatever that means anymore. Nothing.
Whoa.
What is at the back? I'm just gonna ask the question. What is that? And
what is that?
When you look at the back of this thing, what is that?
Which part?
Yeah. Fundamentally, no. I'll just zoom in from the edge of the rear door to the back of the car. What is this?
I don't understand the lights.
And why does it look like a Disney monorail?
It does.
It
now I have to buy one and drive it backwards all the time.
It do be looking like that, though.
I will purchase one of these and only ever drive it in reverse.
You can't.
You don't have the kind of money to purchase a car just to drive in reverse.
You don't know me.
Yes.
Pretty well.
And the seats look like muscle striations. This is not a trend.
Oh, that is ugly.
I love this color. It's a deep, rich red. Love the color. Hate everything about the
deep hemoglobin rich red.
Yeah.
Myoglobin rich red.
I will say I don't necessarily mind the lights on the bottom, like behind the rear tire.
No, but what are these on top?
I don't know.
Yeah. What are those?
Yeah, exactly.
And the middle looks like a flame surfaced 7 Series.
Flame surfacing.
And then the front, like, almost looks like an Audi front end. Almost. It's like it's like a slot machine. Like the front is one thing, the middle is something else, and the end is yet another thing.
I thought it was supposed to be like an SUV. Or at least like something raised up more Outbackish, not low slung like an Avant. Like, what is that?
The hand-built Celestica.
Anyone else getting AMC Pacer vibes around back there is one of the top replies to the tweet I found.
Around back there, whoa. Would you like to hear something I don't think he's designer. He's the Cadillac Advanced Design Manager said.
Is this what Dan Cadillac said?
His name is Magali Debeli.
Who?
Or her. I don't know.
Them.
They, them. The Celestique show car is the purest expression of Cadillac. It brings to life the most integrated expressions of design and innovation in the brand's history. Yeah, no. All right, so this sucks. What you've done here is the purest expression of sucks.
Wow.
Is that too aggressive?
Wow.
I really think this is very, very ugly. And I don't know. I almost texted you guys this earlier in the day because I just didn't have time to do it. I had so much other crap to deal with. I was going to go through every car Cadillac ever made, and we were going to have a discussion as to whether or not they have ever made a good-looking car.
I will say one thing. Reading more of this article, they took our suggestion.
And?
When we were talking about fixing Cadillac.
Yeah.
Now, let's see if they do it correctly, but it's going to be hand-built.
Oh yeah, we did suggest that.
So basically, it's like
Coach
you
Bill.
know, a connection with the vehicle through the finest genuine materials, exceptional detailing, advanced technology.
I think
It'll be hand built, allowing for lots of customization. It's tech center in Warren, Michigan, where it will be produced by hand. Like we were basically saying, they need to be the American.
That was your suggestion, right?
was,
Like make it the American
Rolls-Royce or Bentley, where it's like, I bought this car for $1 zillion. I want that old man over there to hand stitch my leather seats. Like,
I don't care about your arthritis.
I don't care that he's the pinstripe guy. Sew the seats. Like,
sew the muscles together for the seats.
Yeah.
Little light myofascial stitching.
This is turning into a Saw movie all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we didn't do it.
They did it.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan Cadillac did it.
Yeah.
Come on, Dan.
John Mazda.
Remember the Cadillac Catera?
Who doesn't?
It's the Caddy that zigs.
Oh, sorry. This was something else.
No, that was the
I know.
the little bird. Right? It was a duck.
I don't remember.
A duck.
It might have been a duck.
Cadillac Mallard.
I am now doing exactly what I said I would do and scrolling through the list of every Cadillac ever made. The last good-looking Cadillac was made sometime before World War II. There's a Cadillac in the 50s.
I genuinely enjoyed the CTS-V looks.
From like the previous gen?
Yeah.
Like the one that raced in Pirelli World Challenge for a while. Like that version.
Yeah, the CTS-V and the CTS-V Wagon.
Oh, the Wagon was good.
The Wagon looked pretty good, but the
Yeah.
problem I had with that is it was a really great idea, right? They had the coupe, the sedan, and the
Wagon. Yep.
All at the exact same price, really cool concept. All at the exact same trims, really cool concept. But the coupe is so bad, it ruined the Wagon for me.
Oh, see, I try to take things on their own merit in that case, where I know things can be ruined, but
all right.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with that. There were a couple of Escalades designs that weren't terrible either. So I wouldn't go all the way back to the 50s.
Actually, we got the fancy screen now. Tristan, pull up the Cadillac Series 62 Ghia.
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 Yeah, as in the Carman Ghia.
Yeah, Carman Ghia.
Same coachwork. So it's Cadillac
Series 62 Ghia.
62 Ghia.
Great content right now, guys.
Listen.
I mean, it's not like
No, they are listening, and that's the problem. They're not listening to anything.
and I can definitely see
That
where
looks
where
cool.
this is a Ghia. By the way,
Yeah,
That looks very cool.
yeah.
And so I guess, well, you're right, since it is the coach built by essentially someone else for Cadillac. It's, droop snooty.
Droop snooty.
It's got the low eyes. It's got style. It's got lots of metal pinstriping. It's
I do like the metal pinstriping. Also, like
The 8 miles of hood.
yeah. So it reminds me of all things, and then they're gonna hate me for this. It's
Who's they?
Whoever likes these is gonna hate me for this because it looks like they hit the 150% enlarge button on a Chrysler Crossfire. But I love that car for no reason, so it's not a bad thing. But they're gonna hate that I said it.
That's funny.
Who's they?
I don't know.
I mean, that does look good.
You know what I was trying to think about the other day? Because we've talked about this before as well, between Cadillac and Buick, it's kind of like two loser luxury car companies coming from one main brand. Can you, either of you, imagine any way to sell a Cadillac or a Buick to anybody our age?
Unless someone like grew up in like a Cadillac household and is
Even
like
then.
like a fanboy, and I don't think it would be a new model year. Like it would be
Definitely
that
not.
previous gen CTSV or something like that, just to have as like a collector piece.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe.
I would own a previous gen CTSV if I had the wherewithal. Yeah, the means.
Just sounds like you're,
Yeah. Fun,
Bomb.
loud, noisy car.
I guess not bombing around, but the one you would drive to the shows.
If I owned a CTSV, it would be one of the very few vehicles I would make as loud as possible.
Yes. Totally. Like I'd like Harley it. So like I just annoy everyone.
Put a Lope tune on it.
Yep.
Blah, 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 blah.
The South Park episode.
I hate that.
I'd get out going.
And then as soon as you hammer it, it just roars.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I would do that. But you're not going to get me to buy a new one.
I was just trying to imagine.
And I don't know who you would get to buy a new one.
I don't either. And well, the Buick one is actually even more mysterious to jump off the Cadillac ship here.
Oh, yeah.
Because they make nothing interesting. They make nothing cool. They redesigned their logo.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone.
By the way.
I'm not hearing any applause. That's crazy. And then they just import Opals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or just use the other GM stuff at this point.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
You had said this earlier too. The only people buying Cadillacs now or Buicks now are the people who bought Cadillacs and Buicks before. I don't think they're getting any new customers.
I do still believe that about. I do still believe that about Cadillac. I don't actually believe that about Buick anymore because I think they're probably buying Cadillacs. I just don't know. I have no idea. I've never met anyone who drives a Buick. I've never seen anyone drive a Buick. That's not true. But I just don't. They don't fit in my mind into the life of any person I know or have ever interfaced with.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I'd be curious to see if any of our lovely listeners know anyone who has purchased a new one recently. That's the other thing is like.
Yeah, let us know. You should hit us up on the socials and tell us.
Like I've seen more like brand new Rivian R1Ts than new Buicks. They're either riding ancient 90s Park Avenues or LeSabres, or they're like 3 or 4 year old Enclaves or whatever else.
Yep.
Like I haven't seen a new Buick on the road.
I'm trying to remember what the hell they make.
So, listeners, if you or someone you know has purchased a new Buick, you may be entitled to
You may be entitled to free therapy because what is wrong with you?
let us know. Tell us who did it, who done it. You can find us on Facebook by looking up Check Engine Podcast. Andrew, where can they tweet us?
At Check Engine Pod.
Tristan, where can they find us on Instagram?
Also at Check Engine Pod.
Are we ever going to put up the other rainbows? Or did you do that?
No, I have not done that yet.
We should put up the other rainbows now
Yeah.
that we're past Pride Month.
To my point about new Buicks not being on the road,
Yes.
their website has an entire section related to legacy vehicles, telling you how great it will be to buy one of the cars they don't make anymore.
More to the
Wow.
point, their new vehicle listing goes all the way back to 2021.
Yeah.
So they haven't made one in a couple years.
Look at this. No. They have enough stock of 2021 vehicles to continue to list them on their main website, along with the 2022s and the 2023s. This is a dead car brand.
Yep.
That's what this is.
Or they just suck at forecasting.
6 of 1.
That means that one leads to the other.
Yeah, exactly.
In both directions.
Yep.
So by the way, what they currently make, and this makes a lot of sense, the only new Buick I've seen on the roads, probably since about 2021, is that little tiny one, the baby one.
Yes.
The Encore. They also make the Enclave. Never seen it.
Not a new one. Like Tristan said, you see like a 2017.
Well, okay, so in their, when I say new, I need to specify. In the 2023 Buick lineup, there is the Encore, the baby one, and 3 Enclaves, which I have never laid eyes on in my life. In the 2022 lineup, they have the Encores, the Envision,
Heard the name.
sure, and the Enclave. And then in 2021, they have the Envision and the just 2 Envisions, I guess. Envision Avenir.
If you work for Buick, do you tell people?
No. You say I work for GM. I work at the. You say the name of the dealership. I work at Safro.
Yeah. Then just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Well, which one? Safro.
I just work at Safro. Actually, the local Cadillac dealership is also Buick? Question mark.
Usually they group them together.
Which seems
It's usually
silly to
Cadillac,
me.
Buick, GMC.
Cadillac, Buick, GMC.
You're right. Yes.
Is the trifecta there?
All their luxury brands, you see. All
They
together,
are.
all in one place.
I'll
I
never
do
forget-
see a ton of GMC trucks. I will say that.
Also, well, I mean, yeah, infinitely that. But that has to be the problem, right?
So that carries the entire lot.
If you're not going in for the bitty Envision, I already forgot what it is.
Encore?
Encore. I already forgot the names. If you're not going in for that specifically, you're going to get upsold to a Cadillac, right? If you were to go to that dealership. Or GMC. You're going to go for the Arcadia? Is that the...
Yeah.
Acadia?
Acadia. Is it
Like the-
Arcadia? or
Joan of
Arcadia?
Acadia?
Like the National Park, not the TV show?
My fault. Or the... I forget what the other one. Anyways, you're not going to end up walking out of there with a Buick, surely, if they have stock all the way back to 2021.
That's crazy.
Maybe we need to revisit Buick and do a How I Would Say Buick episode, because clearly they have no ideas, and you could do whatever you wanted with that trash heap.
And they didn't listen to us the last time, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We could get crazy. We could go completely nuts.
Maybe try to get their attention for real this time.
Exactly.
Listen up, Buick.
All GTXs.
So aimless.
Yeah.
Like they have no. Is correct me if I'm wrong here. The reason why GMC or GM is so obsessed with keeping Buick around because it's the oldest name, right?
Yes.
Don't they also... Isn't
It's
Buick...
huge in China.
I was saying, aren't they killing it in China?
They
with
were.
Buick?
At least, I don't know currently,
Yeah.
but
We
yeah.
gotta update.
Yeah.
That's what we gotta do.
Update.
Crazy.
We gotta do that
Yeah,
again.
we'll do another saving...
Private Buick.
Saving Private Buick.
saving private... The saving brand episode coming up.
Yeah, we gotta update. It's been too long. I don't even know. They might not be killing in China anymore. Oh, speaking of vehicles in foreign countries, I saw. You know me. I'm a keen observer from a distance of Ford's continual slide into becoming the worst American car manufacturer. They have now taken the step of closing order books for the Focus and Fiesta in Europe, where they have finally admitted, after many years, that it is the cornerstone of all of their development there. Yeah, I know that. You don't have to tell me. You have to tell your CEO. It could be the same thing here. They could do the same thing. You could have those cars on lots as gas prices remain high. You could sell cars to people who want to buy cars instead of them going to the Hyundai dealership, which is where they end up going. Whatever.
It was funny. I actually heard 2 guys talking about how one of them was trying to find a Focus to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, they didn't go at Hyundai.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, he's like, yeah, I want to buy an ST, but like the resale values are through the roof because they're not making them anymore, and like all this other stuff. He's like, I'm just gonna have to go buy a GTI. I was like, I was
Oh,
like,
you poor thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was like,
horrible.
what a struggle. But also like that, lost a sale.
Right, or a GTI, or the
Tom
Honda,
Ford.
or yeah.
I don't know who we're talking
No,
about.
that's the other Ford guy. That's a real guy.
That's a real guy. Reginald Ford.
Jake Ford.
Jake Ford. Reggie Ford.
That guy's not getting mine.
Could you possibly stand to make money on your ST if you were to sell it right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Well, it's like the market is so ridiculous. Like I think I told you a few months ago, I'd break even on a 2-year-old Outback right now. My trade-in value is like $400 less than what I paid for it.
That's just nuts.
It's wild.
Depending on the dealership and how desperate they are, I could make possibly. I mean, there's a comma in it, probably.
I would think so.
Much less in a private sale.
Yeah,
much less on a private sale.
of course.
Yeah.
So,
It's
like the
so
only
weird.
places that won't do that is like a Carvana.
Right, of course.
Like they're just gonna.
CarMax.
Yeah, but if you just go to an actual like dealership with humans, real life people,
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be. But I still like it. I'm not ready to give it up yet.
Oh no, and nor should you. I mean, if you can worm your way into some garage space, you just keep that thing.
Exactly.
That'd be sick.
That'd be great. Can as we wrap up here, can I just touch on a couple of motorsport things
Of
quick?
course.
But of course.
Because and the only reason really I bring this up, besides the fact that he tied a record, is just this other like a stat within a stat that just blows my mind. So, one of our show's favorites, Scott Dixon, just tied Mario Andretti for the second most wins in IndyCar history this past week. He won on the streets of Toronto. His first win this year.
Sounds like he was in a gang fight.
He won on the streets.
I always think.
Hey, did you see that race? It was.
So
Not
yeah,
wrong, yeah.
Car boost.
52 career wins.
Mm-hmm.
So he is 15 away from tying AJ Foyt. He says he has no reason to retire. He said, I don't see myself doing anything different for at least 5 more years.
Wow.
So, I mean, three a year, he could get there.
That's tight, but yeah.
But here's the stat that baffled me. So I just did a shout out a couple weeks ago to my old neighbor Vivian, who graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
Her and everyone in her grade, if you graduated high school this year, Scott Dixon has won a race every single year that you have been alive.
That's crazy.
18 straight seasons he has won a race.
I like that statistic.
That
That's
is
good.
insane.
That's really good.
Every year those high school grads have been real life people. He has won. At
That's
least once.
Awesome.
Longevity, man.
What the hell? And did you see his teammate, the contract battle
No.
thing? So Alex Palou, however you pronounce his name, the 10 car, Dixon's teammate, who everyone thought like, oh, Chip Ganassi has his next Dixon, the guy. Like,
Sure.
last year, his first year for the team, wins the championship. He's in contention again this
Right,
year.
right.
He's only like 25 years old,
Awesome.
soft-spoken, quiet kid, blah, blah, blah. Right, like the Wednesday before this Toronto race, Ganassi puts out a social media post. Proud to announce that we have signed Alex Palou for 2023. Palou comes out and says, I did not approve of that. I did not sign anything. 2 hours after that, McLaren says, proud to announce we have signed Alex Palou for 2023. So
Wow.
now no one really knows who signed him because there's two teams that both claim they did.
Interesting.
Drama.
So now if you're so now like they're saying, okay, if you're Ganassi, like you'd want to hold on to him because he's obviously very good and very capable.
It clearly doesn't want
And he's
to be
20
there,
years
yes.
younger, and he's 20 years younger than your bell cow, right? So
No.
His what?
Bell cow?
I've never heard that phrase before in my
You've
life.
never heard the phrase bell cow.
what? You grew up in Wisconsin. There's cows everywhere.
Are you bullshitting me?
You're the smartest person I know. You know the most about the most. How do you
Are
not
you
know?
fucking with me right
No, I'm dead serious.
Wow.
now?
Is it the one that wears the bell?
What? No. Yes.
It leads
Yes.
the other cows?
Yes,
Exactly. That.
exactly.
Exactly that. Are you fucking with me?
No, I'm putting it together as we speak. I'm figuring it out.
Wow. Okay. Yes, that's the the lead, the one
And
that
you are
leads
the king of trivia. not for
Chief
nothing.
cow.
the chief cow. Yes. So anyway,
Did you really not know that?
I didn't know that.
I'm having trouble. I can't go.
I'm admitting ignorance
I
on a
can't cope.
in a public forum just to mess with you. I
Yes.
love to know things that you
That's
don't know.
Exactly what I would do in your situation.
But I'm not you.
man, we veered way off topic. Anyway, if you're Chip Ganassi, in theory, you'd want to keep him.
Because he's your horn sheep. Okay.
The horny sheep.
But to Andrew's point,
Gongo?
if yeah, so let's. If you're Ganassi, you'd obviously want to keep him. But to Andrew's point, if he doesn't want to stay,
which he clearly doesn't, right?
do you bother finishing out the season with him?
Ooh.
Like, you've got Tony Kanaan, ran your 5th car at Indianapolis, former champion veteran. He's older, but very capable, can jump in. I guess apparently they have Ryan Hunter-Reay, as like a reserve driver.
He's just sitting at home.
He's just sitting at home waiting for a phone call. So do you...
Didn't he win the 500 not that long ago?
Hunter-Reay?
Yeah.
Like 6-7 years ago? Yeah.
Because what is time anymore?
Basically.
But yes, he did. Champion, Indy 500 winner, sitting on the couch. So Palou is he's fourth in points this year. He apparently doesn't want to come back next year. Do you just cut the cord now, have one of these veterans come in, finish out the year, and just let him go? Or, like, it's going to be weird and very intriguing to see how this goes.
Could they save money if they just axed him? Like, breach a contract or something?
Well, who breached the contract? Did Ganassi for announcing something that wasn't official? Or did he for signing with someone else when he was still signed? Like, no one really knows, like, what actually happened behind the scenes. But McLaren, has that F1 money to throw around.
True.
They already signed Rossi for next year.
Right.
Away from Andretti. And now apparently they have Palou, so their 3-car team next year would be Rossi, Alex Palou, and Pato O'Ward. Which is a killer.
Is O'Ward the oldest one in that group?
No.
No.
He is actually the youngest. He's like 22, but he's
so they'd be all
an absolute charger.
They'd be under 30 for
Runner-up in Indy this year,
Probably like under 27?
So Rossi is almost 30, I think, now.
Okay. I didn't know.
He's like 29 or 30. Palou is 25 or 26, and Pato is just a puppy, but he's
Just
so
a
good.
puppy.
Yeah.
Does he have a musical device on him too?
No.
Okay.
Sound puppy?
Sound puppy. Speakers.
Kazoo puppy. So anyway, that is a really interesting developing story that's weird, you don't hear that shit coming out of IndyCar. That's like NASCAR, NFL, NBA stuff.
I was going to say F1.
Yeah.
F1 stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
The big contract news.
So, yeah.
Huh. Well, I mean, not to say that it's the wrestling term for something it's played up as being real, but is clearly not kayfabe.
Yes, kayfabe.
Not to say that it is that, but if, for example, you were in F1, having a stellar year and doing a lot of things right, you may want to, invent some drama like this. No, I don't know that they would do that, but I do think it's interesting that this kind of stuff has cropped up in an interesting F1 year with it feels like a lot of eyes on the sport that weren't there before.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know if that's true, but it feels that way.
Yeah. Alonso actually came out and said, a lot of these new fans, he's like, they really don't know anything. Come on, man, don't alienate them.
And they're gone.
Yeah, he said that. He's like, they're not like diehards who know a lot. They're just like people who kind of show up because it's popular. It's like, oh man.
But and that's fine. I think one of the things I kind of resent the most about IMSA is that having a really long history. It's like, oh, you don't remember when it was ALMS. It's like, nope, wasn't watching.
But who cares? You're here now.
Proud to be not watching.
I like when people tell that to me.
Yeah.
Because I do.
Right, of course. You guys do.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was.
It's like different appreciation. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I don't even know that anyone who goes to an IMSA race that would ever say that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's generally everyone seems really chill. Everyone just
It's more just of a car culture weekend type of vibe.
Exactly.
It's almost like a car show with racing happening at the same time.
But you do get that heavily in F1. It's like, oh, you don't remember
Ayrton Senna.
No, not well. You're not a huge name. You don't remember James Daly, who raced in 1913 when it was actually just horses, and it's like, no, dude, I don't. What are you talking about?
I'm just here now, and I want to enjoy myself.
He won the British GP 16 times in 4 years. It's like he did
when it was run on foot.
Right. Stop. No one cares. Stop it.
Back to that gatekeeping thing.
Which I do support in a general sense. But if you're gonna do it in a cool way. Do it in a fun way.
Not against you.
Yeah, don't gatekeep me.
Just let me do it to other people when I want.
Also, I'm perfectly fine with being gatekept. People can be like, "Oh, you didn't know anything about F1." And I'm like, "Yes, you are right," and I'm commenting. I don't care.
If we
You can't stop me.
back to IMSA for a second, though, former guest Ryan Eversley is now doing double duty at Road America. Did you see this? Have you heard about this?
That's
No,
awesome.
I have not.
So he was already set to run the Acura in the big
sure.
show.
Yep.
We talked about last episode how the pilot challenge is now the endurance round, so it's 4 hours, which means that those guys are eligible for a third driver. Ryan
my
Eversley is the third driver in the Hart Civic TCR.
Nice, I get to wear my shirt.
Love
That's
it.
right. He is, and he used to run for them
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah,
Like so,
yeah,
like
yeah.
2-3 years ago when you
Absolutely.
bought the shirt.
That's why I bought the shirt.
That's right. So he's back in that car for Road America, which
that's cool.
it's going to be awesome watching him twice in a row. But I'm also a little nervous because that cuts into our potential beer time. Because now he's got double the practice,
That's
double the
true.
Beer
qualifying.
o'clock comes significantly later now.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a busy boy.
Yeah, it's not like we had carved anything out in stone, but we had mentioned, stopping through.
Hey, hit us up next year. Yeah.
Yeah, kinda
we'll
thing.
We'll find him.
So he's
sure.
he's out and about. He's a man of the people.
He is.
But I just don't
Truly.
think it's,
He is. Everyone loves him.
the chances are slim now to actually,
That's all right.
say crack a beer open with him like we had kind of talked about. But hey, if it means he's racing more,
That's right.
that's a
all about
positive,
that
and he has
on-track
a chance to get 2 sets of hardware.
That'd be great.
That'd be
Good
awesome.
for him.
Yeah, good for
Driving
him.
well right now.
I'm so excited for the IMSA weekend.
Yes.
I still gotta buy my tickets, but I'm really excited.
You got until like the 26th or something. It's fine.
Yeah,
Is that like the whatever the?
Early bird.
the early bird special.
Yeah.
I gotta do that too.
And Claire looks like is going to be coming up for the whole weekend too. So
Nice.
probably late Thursday we'll be up there.
Nice.
We won't be up there to help you set up camp. We'll just come enjoy it.
Which is fine. It's not that hard. Listeners, if you are in the area, we will be at Road America that whole weekend. So hit us up on messaging, various media platforms. Come find us. Come say hello.
We'll be the ones wearing swag with logos
Yeah,
and passing out
definitely.
stickers.
Yeah, no one else is doing that.
I wish I had that, but I'm stupid.
Now, a few people have. I've seen a few people wear it around. I've actually seen it at the kart track a couple of times.
No, I'm
Some people
joking that
wearing-
like we're not like it might not be ours, but other people are handing out stickers and wearing swag. That's
yeah.
that was my.
Oh,
like,
Oh, I mean with
we're the-
our logo
yeah,
on it.
like we're the ones handing
Did I
out
not
swag at Road
specify?
America.
We'll be the ones wearing our logo
own, yeah.
and passing out our stickers with our
Yes.
logo.
Yes.
We'll leave Heidi and Steve at Styled Aesthetic to do other people.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's just gonna be fun. We can potentially see Ryan if he's not too busy. We can run into in one paddock area. We could probably see Aaron, Telitz, and Bozy.
Yeah, there
There you go.
They'll be
Yep.
They'll be there. So running into a bunch of former guests, hopefully, be great.
there. Former future guests, don't you know?
Yeah.
Once and future guests.
Well, Telitz already did it twice. I don't know if he's gonna come back.
That's true.
You're welcome to come back.
He would. He would definitely do it.
I think he
Anyways, man, that's gonna be good.
It's gonna be so much fun, dude.
It's gonna be real good.
We're probably in for a good lightning storm or two.
Yeah. Light tornado.
Yep.
We gotta collect ourselves some hardware. That's right. We need something punishing,
We need a 3-time.
but not fatal.
We need to be 3-time winners of the Spirit of
Yeah,
Race
one
Award.
for each.
Yeah. Right now I'm sharing
Then we'll have to find a new intro, which would be tough.
Well, I just say,
3-time winners.
yeah. There's the new intro. Ta-da! Problem solved. Anyway,
Yeah.
You wanna get out of here?
I think we're done.
That was it. That was it.
The
I
last
killed
time
it right
looked-
there.
Here's my mental state currently. The last time I looked at that clock, I thought it said 1 hour 33, 34,
Which-
35 minutes.
You're like,
and-
wow, minutes are going by really fast.
Yeah, my brain went, wow, that's crazy. So I need food, and then I'm gonna go sleep.
so let's get everybody out of here. We appreciate you listening. You want to pull up my outro so I don't forget it again?
Uh-oh. Yep. Got to have it on hand.
Yeah, thanks for sticking with us. We appreciate you listening, but we don't want you just to listen. We want to interact with you. We mentioned how to find us on the socials. Hey, as you're listening on whatever your favorite platform is, be sure to leave us a review, preferably a good one, and or hit that subscribe button. It's free. You'll get notified of any new content that we put out. If you're really into what we're doing and like to support this podcast monetarily, you have 2 options for that. you can go to patreon.com/checkenginepodcast or hit that support button on our homepage at anchor.fm/checkenginepodcast. Every cent pledge goes towards making Tristan able to buy that Celestique so he can drive it in reverse.
Yeah, perfect.
So we thank you in
Hashtag
advance.
fund Tristan's monorail.
So thank you in advance for that. Any shout outs before we get out of here, gentlemen?
I mean, I think if I had it my way at this point, I'd just thank my baby every week, but that's not possible.
But that's not possible.
So instead, I will actually thank you guys because I've been like horribly neglectful of this podcast for like months at this point, just purely down to trying to not get trucked over at work. So I'm sorry about that, but thank you for sticking with me.
I think that's just a mutual thing.
Yeah,
I think we've been all busy with shit. So
We're all running downhill,
thank the listeners for being
Trying
patient with our weird ass cadence
that's
lately.
true.
trying to
Yeah.
keep our legs moving fast enough that we don't fall over.
Yeah,
Is really what it is. So, but yeah, I think that's obviously, thanks to all of you guys out there in the listening world for putting up with us. We thank each other for putting up with each other. Along.
We really are trying.
You know,
we never stopped caring about this show. we
Still love you, baby.
But unrelated to that, I'd like to thank my team at work, if any of you happen to listen, for no reason in particular. It's just refreshing to be part of a team that's just also such good friends. Sounds cheesy, but I genuinely enjoy doing work stuff because I get to do it with people who I get to be friends with, which I think seems pretty rare from a lot of the other people I've talked to. It's like
definitely rare.
genuinely like the people you work with, and that's a surprising thing to have in the world these days. So thanks, guys.
That's awesome. I would like to give a shout out to my mom because by the time this is posted, pretty sure it will have been her birthday.
If you want me to post it the day we normally post it, then yes.
Yeah. Right around the time we're recording this is my mom's birthday. So happy birthday, Mom. Thank you for everything all the time. And as always, thank you, listeners, for your continued support. We love hearing from you. We love recording this for you. And we cannot wait to speak to you again. Until then, take care.